Hey folks, just had to say a few words about the passing of two cultural icons within 2 days of each other. Of course, most of you probably, if not every one of you, probably know who I'm talking about. Ozzy Osbourne, and then just a couple days later, Hulk Hogan. Both of these people, rich levels of fame that I'm not sure is possible for someone to reach again today. I mean, everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. Folks that never seen a wrestling match, didn't like pro wrestling, knew Hulk Hogan. Ozzy Osbourne was knew by millions of people who didn't listen to heavy metal music, didn't like heavy metal music. He was a true cultural icon. And we've lost, like I said, both of them within a couple of days. And that's kind of jarring for somebody my age, because these are stars and famous people from my days of being young. Ozzy, from the 70s and 80s, and Hulk from the 80s and on past that. They had controversy in their lives, both of them did, and their careers. But they rose above it, and it is the extraordinary person who can stand the magnifying lens and the spotlight of celebrity and come away looking squeaky clean, isn't it? And like I said, I'm not a heavy metal music fan, and wrestling in the 21st century, I've not really kept up with that at all. I used to be a huge old school wrestling fan, 70s and 80s, but I've not kept up with that in the 21st century. And therein lies the thing about Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne and what we're losing about them. They rose above their fields of celebrity, pro wrestling, music, till folks outside of their areas of performance knew them. I don't really think we'll ever get that again. Entertainment now is so splintered with different streaming services, and movies are premiered a lot differently than they used to be, and theaters aren't doing that good, and music is available on a lot of different platforms. I don't think we'll ever reach a place again where somebody can be as well known for music as Ozzy Osbourne.
I don't think we will, because you'll get them for 3 or 4 years, and then it kind of just fades.
Yeah, or from pro wrestling, as Hulk Hogan was. That you said that exactly right. And see, I don't know. I'm older, I know, but see, when Hulk Hogan was at the top of his game, and now older folks knew who he was.
I mean, if you think 80s, you think Hulk and Ozzy.
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't see anybody rising up to that again, because I'm older. I couldn't name one of the top 10 musicians, musical acts on the charts right now. And I'm sure there's lots of younger folks who can, but Ozzy rose above that. Yeah. All generations, people that didn't even like heavy metal, I didn't listen to it, knew about Ozzy. One of your favorite songs from the 80s was his duet with Lita Ford.
Yeah, I really like that, yes.
Yeah.
And the Hawk, I took my vitamins because I wanted to be healthy, because he told me.
What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? I'm sorry, that kind of bled into Randy Savage.
That sounds like Macho Man.
They are, but they're kind of synonymous with each other.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have a big match one more time.
Yeah. Took you long enough to get up here, Hulkster. I've got the ring set up. Oh yeah,
the
one
ring
more
is
time.
Ready. They're ready to rumble. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But really, like I said, to watch around you icons from your era of life just disappear and leave like that. And like I said, close friends too, and acquaintances. It's part of life. As you get older, you know more people in a cemetery than you do on the street.
Yeah.
But it's pause for thought, like I said, and we will certainly miss them. Hulk, being an old school wrestling fan, I go back to when the heels and the baby faces were separated, and a baby face, never cheated, never got out of hand. The referee didn't have to get him in control. And the Attitude Era in the 90s of pro wrestling changed that. The baby faces was done as bad of things as the heels done. Hulk Hogan was the last great baby face from that era that didn't, won't break the rules. I know he turned heel into WCW, but that was later. But when he was a baby face, he acted like they're supposed to act, like, I don't break the rules, I won't do that. And now it's like, you watch a modern pro wrestling match, if you don't know who they are, you can't tell who the face is and who the heel is.
Yeah, like I said, if you think 80s, can you not think of Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, oh, no.
He was the thing.
And Ozzy, the 80s,
Yes.
Ozzy's from the 70s too, but Ozzy, the 80s is when he kind of resurrected his career and resurrected himself with that duet and with other stuff, and really rose to the level of being an icon, not just a heavy metal star. So they're both children of the 80s.
And just wow. He knew, like, that was his last, farewell.
Ozzy
and that's just,
got to say farewell with everybody.
Incredible.
The Hulk's passing was maybe a little less expected.
Yeah, that was
Ozzy's
unexpected, but him saying that was his farewell.
Yeah, he done his farewell tour. And I'll always remember, Hulk Hogan. I know you had to heel Hulk Hogan in the WCW, and you had, political Hulk Hogan and all of that and stuff, but I'll always remember Hulk Hogan in a yellow shirt. Hulkamania running wild and you telling all the kids to take their vitamins.
Okay, well, what about this Pokemon?
Oh, yeah, and Hulk was a Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
He was a commentator on, like, the world champion or national championships, which it was in 2006. He was huge into the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
And Ozzy Osbourne, instead of the heavy metal star doing the wild things with bats and stuff, the legends of that, what I remember about him is a sweet old man painting his targets for his air rifles in his backyard. That interview he did with that guy, he was so nice and so sweet, and you could tell, that he had major health issues that slowed him down. And he was happy doing that simple thing in life, painting his little targets and shooting his air rifles in his backyard. And I'll always remember that about him. Where I know a lot of folks that say, I remember this, I remember that. That's what I remember about Ozzy, is a nice old man with his targets, painting them. And Hulk, like I said, he will forever, if Hulk had lived to be 150 years old, in my mind, he will forever be pumped up, oiled up in his yellow t-shirt, yellow shirt, and the headband on. And for most of his career, he had a belt on. If he didn't have a championship belt, he always wore the weightlifter's belt, if you remember that.
Well, every time I've got a bright yellow shirt, I think, wow, this is as yellow as the Hawks. But,
yeah.
He put his hand on his ear.
You put his hand on his ear. Oh, yeah. And raise the hand. You remember when he was almost choked out in a sleeper hole or something, and the referee was about to drop the hand for the third time. It would stop in mid-drop, and it would come up, and the finger would go like that. No. And he won almost every match with a leg drop, but you got to win him some way.
It's legends, like I said. The ones that kind of out there for 3 or 4 years, they kind of just fade. Nothing sticks.
They won't be icons.
Is that
like
now
that.
what we get now?
Yeah. Well, Andy Warhol predicted the world we live in now when he said everybody'd be famous for, what was it? Was it 20 minutes, 10 minutes? For a few minutes.
Yeah.
He kind of predicted it because everybody is. Yeah. And like I said, Ozzy and Hulk rose above the magnifying lens and the spotlight of celebrity, which makes everybody look bad at some point in their career because nobody's perfect. But they rose above that and came back really strong and great, and they will be missed.
But we had to get on here and talk about the legends, right?
Yeah.
Part of the 80s from
they'll be missed. Who doesn't have a Ozzy impression?
Oh, I'm telling you.
I mean, folks who doesn't do impressions, Sharon, that will do an Ozzy impression.
I don't know that my son don't do Ozzy, and that guy from Sling, what was his name?
Carl Childers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he's about to
Our
drive me
son is a fairly
nuts.
good impressionist, and he does.
He done Ozzy.
He does Ozzy amazing.
And he does Carl.
You know, at some points in his life, he's almost had Ozzy's hair when he's grew it out.
Oh my goodness.
He does say later
Wow.
you're Ozzy good.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
Swing
yeah, he
guy.
does. Yeah, he does several
oh
impressions
my
really
God,
good.
let me tell you something. He strode me out there with that.
Did any of you guys see Hulk Hogan wrestle live? Did you see Ozzy in concert? If you did, tell us about that, please. Tell us about your experience. Tell us about your favorite Hulk Hogan match, your favorite Ozzy song, your favorite Ozzy moment from the television series.
Yes, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah. And we know your favorite Ozzy song. I'm not really into heavy metal, but I like Close Your Eyes Forever and Crazy Train because oftentimes I felt like, you know, I was traveling on that very train.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you, folks, for riding with us and now walking with us and letting us share our thoughts about the passing of these two legends. And like we said, you know, share your thoughts with us in the comment section. That's what we make these videos for. What do we say at the end of these videos, sweetheart? Bye. God bless you, folks. And God rest Ozzy and Hulk.
See y'all in the next one.